giveaways to give out today.
That's right.
Sponsored by the one and only Fernandez.
Dude, I'm still learning my iPhone, man. I got the new iPhone 16. Still trying to figure it out.
iPhones are garbage, man. I hate the iPhones. And the reason that I hate them is that's all I do a lot at work. People need to set up their iPhones for work. And I absolutely hate the iPhones. You cannot tell me that an iPhone is better than an Android. From what I've seen from the back end, as an IT professional, iPhones are absolute garbage, man. I hate them to death. I hate them, man. Even the people that I set up the phones for, we send them a set of instructions. That's how you set up your phone. They're like, I hate the iPhone.
Is there a big difference between the iPhone 16 and the iPhone, 12? There really isn't much.
Not much. It's the iOS, the operating system.
Yeah.
And like the latest version of the iOS for your iPhone, it has like AI and all these nice features built in it, you know? You gotta get used to it.
I mean, Samsung has the better camera. That's for sure. But really, here's the thing. What do most people use it for? Go online and pictures.
Yeah,
that's it. So it's like all this operating stuff is just like nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be using it to make a movie.
Well, that Weeknd did. He made his video
Yeah.
for his new song. But the stupid thing is like, whoa, it's shot on the iPhone. It is, but there's like millions of dollars of production that goes behind the scenes on that thing. It's like they used an iPhone, but you look at the video like, come on.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Puro pinche iPhone day without water. What's up, Chris Gonzalez, Sean Quintero, Mario Cavazos? Thanks for joining us, man.
Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
It's Friday, baby, and this is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from the west side of San Antonio. My name's Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. We finally made it to the weekend. It's going to be a great weekend of sports here in San Antonio, state of Texas, nationwide. Lots going on. We're going to have a fun show today. We go for about an hour and a half or so, Monday through Friday. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors about this show. More than 1,040 subscribers strong. We're the only show in town at this hour right now when it comes to sports, pop culture, nostalgia. We're going to get into all of that.
Look who's watching us today. The man himself that's sponsoring our giveaway.
That's right. Fridays are now giveaway Fridays.
Yeah.
So what are we giving away today, Joe?
Oh, we got something special. So for the guys that have watched this the most, you have to have at least 200 or more accumulated points to win this, right?
Okay.
So Fernandez graciously went ahead and sponsored this giveaway. And he's like, you know what I'm going to do? For this preseason game coming up here on Saturday, he's going to give away 2 lower level seats.
Wow.
And a parking pass. And the lower level seats, I mean, they're in the hundreds, dude. It's not like you're getting a bad seat there. These are really nice seats along with the parking pass. So,
hey, Fernandez, thank you so much, not only for your service, but also for the giveaway as well. Now, if you're going to be taking those tickets and winning those tickets, here's the thing. You got to collect the cups the way that Fernandez and Steph do. And you got to learn the bump dance, or what do they call it?
When we win, we bounce.
Yeah. We bounce, baby. That's it. So you got to learn the dance, got to stack some cups, and we're going to want some photos. So if you win these tickets, we need several photos posted on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. DM us, whatever, because we need to actually promote this, man, and congratulate you guys for winning the tickets. When are we giving those away, Joe?
We'll give them away probably like midway through the show.
And
you know what we're going to bring back for everybody to do this? The spinning wheel that they love so much.
Oh, the wheel.
Yep.
Nice.
The spinning wheel.
All right. So, when it comes to sports today, we'll be talking obviously about the Spurs. We're going to go over what Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 is doing today. Preseason continues this weekend for the Spurs, and we talked so glowingly of Stephon Castle yesterday. A lot of people reached out to us, Joe, saying that they enjoyed Mike Mitchell Jr. being on the show yesterday. He did a fantastic job breaking it down. I mean, he played ball himself. His dad played for the Spurs for 7.5 seasons. I like the fact that he, stood up and said, hey, my dad got overlooked. He got overlooked. That 34 jersey should be retired. And I firmly believe that, Joe. But we're going to invite Mike Mitchell Jr. back on.
Yeah, I'll be back on here
from time to time throughout the season. So very, very cool. We're going to get into some Spurs talk. Week 5, actually week 6 of the NFL season got going last night. The Niners beat the crap out of the Seahawks yesterday. They needed that game. They look like the Niners of old. So we'll get into this week's games. The big game, though, is going to be the Dallas Cowboys against the Detroit Lions. And what are we calling this episode? Put up or shut up for the Dallas Cowboys. Because if the Dallas Cowboys are going to be winning games, if they're going to be taken seriously, they need to win a game against a very, very good team. And the Detroit Lions are coming into town. Detroit Lions, a Super Bowl favorite, one of the favorites to come out of the NFC. Going to be looking forward to this game. Got Jahmyr Gibbs, Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown. How are the Cowboys going to defend this team? And whenever the Cowboys go up against a very good running back, what happens? They struggle. And Jahmyr Gibbs is coming into town.
I just confirmed Johnny Walker will be joining us around 10:35.
Very nice. Johnny Walker, Texas Longhorn great, Holmes Husky great, a member of the Texas High School Hall of Fame, will be joining us at 10:35.
Yeah.
And what are we talking about? The Red River Rivalry.
And you know what somebody had put in here? And it's true. Guess what time it is? It's 10:12. And OU still sucks.
So here's the thing. The game is this weekend. I was talking to my brother-in-law, who's a huge UT football fan. He is a grad of UT. Even though me and his sister are divorced, and he's still my brother. And he's nervous about this game.
Really?
You know why he's nervous? Is because of expectations. Quinn Ewers coming on back. The expectations of winning, because Vegas has this as a 14-point favorite for the Texas Longhorns.
The spread.
Yeah, and he's like, they're going, man, this is always a close game. I mean, this is OU.
It is.
Our first time playing each other in the SEC.
This one's for bragging rights. And also, both teams absolutely hate each other.
Yeah.
You know, they're always doing the horns down. They think it's cute and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? OU has beat the Longhorns, man. Now it's time for the Longhorns
to return the favor.
And now the Longhorns are number 1. So you know what? You know OU wants to go ahead and just put a blemish there on their record this coming season.
Demon Mike make an appearance today.
Oh,
to see what Angel Reese was wearing.
I saw that, and I saw the comments with all the guys, the simps. They were like, Lord. I'm like, come on.
Oh, that's a tall mountain to climb right there,
dude.
And in nostalgia, the Ringer, Bill Simmons' outfit, formerly of ESPN, the entire staff did a vote, and they came up with the 85 greatest Quentin Tarantino characters ever. And this is because Pulp Fiction is turning 30 years old, and they're going through all of his movies, Joe. All of his movies to rank the top 85. We'll go through the top 10 and see if they got it right. We do sports, we do pop culture, we do nostalgia. Joe, Johnny Walker, on at 10:35. You can be part of the show by taking part of our YouTube stream, leaving a comment or two.
Yeah, you know, it was funny, dude. For some reason, because I had traveled, right, quite a bit the last couple months. My phone was acting up.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to get phone calls from other people, right? Like if you were in a different carrier, like if it wasn't AT&T, I couldn't get phone calls. Restarted the phone, everything, went to AT&T. They couldn't figure it out. I finally went to my AT&T, right, on my phone.
Yeah.
And it has an option where it says, having problems getting incoming calls, reset your phone or reset the data, where the location where you're at. So I did that, and lo and behold, now I'm starting to get calls. That's why I was able to finally see an incoming call coming from one Johnny Walker.
There you go.
I'm like, I'm back. Now I can get calls from people.
Man, it sucks being without a phone. It's funny. We lived our entire lives, the first 20 years of our lives pretty much, without cell phones, right? Yeah. I had a pager in high school. You hit 911 if it's an emergency.
Oh, the pager,
carry some quarters, go give you a call, right? I was without a cell phone last week for about 2 hours, and I could not stand life.
Oh, man.
I couldn't stand it. Now, there are times when I turn it off, right? Go to the movies, you're on a date with a girl, whatever the case, just turn off the phone. But to know that you couldn't turn it back on was weird. And my motherboard went out on my phone. I have this theory that a lot of people keep sharing with me. So I'm adopting their theory.
Okay.
Which is that when a new iPhone comes out, Apple somehow makes your phone break.
Oh, they slow it down and stuff. They make it, hard for you to want to be able to stay on that old device. But the thing is, why did the phone break?
Yeah.
Did you just fumble it, and it fell on the ground and broke?
No, they just said that it just died.
Just died. It kind of maybe could have overheated, but at least you didn't have a Shannon Sharp moment.
Right. Well, they actually, when they opened it up, which by the way, whenever you open up an iPhone, you may as well just destroy it. Because the way that it's designed, it's designed not to be opened.
Well, it has glue. I mean,
the front contraption comes out pretty easily to replace the screens and whatnot. But if you have to get to the battery and the motherboard, I mean, you got to destroy the phone pretty much. So they showed me back there. They're like, oh no, this thing's fried. But no, we have a lot to get into today, man. We have a lot to get into. What do you want to start with first, Joe? Let's talk about the NFL.
Oh, no. One thing that we got to do real quick here. We got to go ahead and give a shout out to somebody because it is a special someone's birthday today.
Keldon
Johnson.
Yeah. He's now old enough to rent a car. He's made tens of millions of dollars in his lifetime already at the age of 25. He can now rent a car.
Yeah, so you have to go ahead and give a shout out to the one and only Keldon Johnson because today is his birthday. So happy birthday, Keldon Johnson.
Why were so many people making fun of that suit?
That suit is ugly as hell, bro.
Dude, I kind of like it, man.
No, man.
It's very not CP3, C3PO is what it is.
I don't know what that is, dude. Hey, man. But we're not young like that, so they can wear whatever the hell they want to wear. I'm sure it cost a lot.
I'm sure it did too. That's not a Men's Warehouse fit.
No.
Which by the way, in becoming divorced for a second time and getting my clothes, I'm gonna tell you what I did the other day, Joe. I probably should have taken photos of this. I got rid of all my clothes.
No, man.
From the second marriage. Every single shirt, polo, long sleeve shirt, gone. The only shirts that I kept, Joe, that I had from that marriage were my Spurs jerseys and my Saints gear.
You got rid of all the clothes, kind of like shedding the bad juju, right?
Yeah, just energy. All of it gone.
Let it go.
All the sweaters.
What about the pictures?
Long sleeve shirts. Oh, they're in boxes.
All right, there you go.
And I'll never take them out again.
So you had a cleansing.
I had a cleansing. So I have purchased over the past month or so an entirely new wardrobe.
But are you feeling so effing cute with yourself?
Well,
that you're gonna wear a Spurs jersey with no undershirt?
No, that's gross. No grown ass man should wear a basketball jersey without an undershirt if they're going out and about. Now, if they're gonna go play ball, fine. But if they're out and about, no.
Look at Midtown, Texas.
Oh my God, it's a tear in my beer, not on my shirt.
Oh,
no, but the thing is that I've gone out and gotten better clothes, dude. I'm avoiding Kohl's. I'm going to good stores. I'm getting good gear.
Cavazos. Oh hell no! You got rid of all your clothes from Costco.
All the Costco and Kohl's clothes are gone. All the clothes that came back in that were brought in are all from Macy's and from online stores and sports stores. I mean, don't be wrong. I'm not I'm looking better, dude. I got better brands out there, dude. You know what I'm saying? Just making it a little bit better. I bought 6 pairs of shoes. 6 pairs of shoes. I have never owned so many shoes in my entire life. Got brand new boots from the girlfriend the other day. Just make it. Dude, brand new underwear.
No,
new chones, dude. I got new socks.
No, man.
I'm throwing away old T-shirts. Just shedding things, dude. Dude, my closet has gone from being a cluttered mess to now I can just roll around in there because everything's gone. Feels good.
Look at Jesse, eh? If it's 100 degrees outside, I'm not wearing no undershirt.
That's true. But if you're wearing a basketball jersey, you better wear that because it's like the basketball jersey doesn't breathe.
You'll get to see some side boob action.
It's so gross, dude. So gross. I mean, maybe if you look like a player, maybe that's it. But if you're a chunky Mexican like half of us are here in San Antonio, no, man, you just don't do that.
You got that dad bod rocket, dude.
Yeah. No, man. So I brand new gear, dude. Like what I'm wearing right now is what I wear to the gym. So this is not new. I kept the gym clothes because I got to go work out. But no, new me, dude. I'm feeling better. My business is doing well.
The only thing you got to get rid of now from that old marriage.
What's that?
That truck, dude.
Oh, dude, the lease is up in 2 months.
There you go. You got to shed that too and let it go.
I am looking at a Silverado, or I'm looking at a Dodge 1500.
You're not going to get that little small sized, was it 3/4 size truck no more? Because your girl makes fun of you.
Oh, yeah. I said what she called it. I forgot what she called it.
She said you could put that truck in the back of her truck.
Yeah,
something like that.
I no. She called my truck.
It's like a baby truck, or
she calls it baby truck all the time. But there was a crude way of her saying it. It was like a vagina with a bed or something like that.
Oh man,
with a vagina with a tailgate is what she called it.
Look at that, Midtown Texas. Did you get rid of the instant replay jacket?
Never had one, but I do have a San Antonio Sports Star jacket that I saw in my closet yesterday that I'll never wear again. I don't know what to do with that.
Give it a pledge.
Dude, it's probably so too big for him.
Well, he could bring it in or something. He could make it into a vest or something. No, because he wears vest.
Yeah.
I'm being serious, man.
Yeah, no, I threw away a lot of hats as well. Not throwing them away. I'm just giving them to my dad.
Yeah.
So that
Shout
he can
out
sell
to Pledger, dude. We love Pledger here, man. He's a great guy.
Pledger Extra Innings. His show is from 6 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Look at Matt Lerma. He's asking for it, dude.
No, man. There's no grief for
We'll do a little one.
No. Let's cut this out. No.
There you go, Matt.
No one cares about the Seahawks. No one cares about the Seahawks.
Raffle the jacket. That's what they're saying.
Give it away on a Friday. We call it. We call it Red Hot Chili Pepper Friday because we give it away now. Niners beat the Seahawks yesterday 36-24. Brock Purdy finally had himself a day. Now, Brock Purdy is one of the leaders when it comes to passing yards this year, but he hasn't been played exceptionally well at all because the Niners have been sucking ass. Niners back at 3-3, back at 500. Brock Purdy yesterday 19 for 28, 255 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. But really, the game got blown up because of Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel, 102 yards receiving and a touchdown, including a 76-yarder to the house early in the game. Niners got on the board early, put it away in the fourth quarter, 36-24. Seahawks dropped to 3-3. The Seahawks were looking good for a while there. They beat the Broncos, Patriots, and Dolphins to start the year. Then they lose back-to-back to the Lions, Giants, and Niners. Back into the fold, man. Revert to the mean. They start 3-0. They're now 3-3. And now we have to take a look at the standings because let's take a look at that division there. Think about this, Joe. How bad is this? The Niners have had a terrible start. Lost 3 of their first 5 games. Seattle goes off and starts the season 3-0. And right now at 3-3, your Niners are in first place. 3-3 leads the NFC West.
And what did we say? You're only as good as your record says you
right.
are. So that means that right now they're what? They all right?
But they haven't had Christian McCaffrey.
True enough.
That's the thing. Christian
McCaffrey
McCaffrey
be out for a while.
He is, and he's the most dynamic running back in the entire NFL.
Yeah, he's hurt.
It's like they kept his injury a secret, man.
Well,
like,
do you want
no
to
one
give
really
the other
knew
team,
about it?
The other opposing team fuel?
Well, no, I get that, but man, think of your fantasy football people. They took him number 1 overall.
Oh, you think the coach gives a damn about that, dude? He's like, the hell with that.
So we have a good slate of games this week, but what's that? Here's some games this weekend. If you want to get up early in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, kickoff, Jaguars, Bears in London. You've got the Cardinals and Packers on Fox at 12 o'clock. Colts, Titans, boring-ass game. Now, the Texans are going into Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots. This is an important game for the Texans because they're trying to win despite a lot of injuries on the offensive side of the ball. You've got no Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
You've got Nico Collins, who was put on IR. Nico Collins, who leads all of the NFL in receiving yards, out for a minimum of 4 weeks. You got to get these W's against these crappy-ass teams taking on the Patriots. Vegas has the Texans, despite the injuries, favored by 6.5 points. The Buccaneers are going to New Orleans. 3-2 Bucs, who lost to the Falcons in a very brutal game, taking on the Saints without Derek Carr. Guess who they named as the starting quarterback?
Oh,
Spencer Rattler.
there you go.
Dude, I'm excited, baby.
Did you see the
Spencer Rattler, baby?
Did you see the picture they put?
That's not him, though.
I know it's not him. No, they put a picture up.
And they mixed my face in there. It was good. I
Funny,
saw
dude.
it. But, dude, the Spencer Rattler era begins because this is an exciting thing. This is what Saints fans wanted from the get-go. I'm okay with losses if we get Spencer Rattler out there and to see what we've got. This was a top quarterback prospect coming out of high school. Played for South Carolina. I think he played for OU as well. Goes out there, balls out during preseason, but you got to give the keys to Derek Carr. He's the one making the money. Derek Carr goes out with an oblique injury. Spencer Rattler comes on in. That's what the people want. They didn't want that other dude from Fresno State. They wanted Spencer Rattler. And I'm going to tell you this, Joe. This reminds me of Dak Prescott taking over for Tony Romo because of an injury.
No, man.
Will Derek Carr ever get the keys back to the car?
I don't know, man. The dude, he's all right.
Who?
Carr, he's all right.
He's all right. I mean, dude, career-wise, he has like 40,000 yards passing.
He's all right.
He's all right. He's not good.
Yeah.
It's just not bad. He's just average.
Rattler comes in and makes an instant impact.
Well, think about it. We saw that with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Right? We're now seeing young quarterbacks, Brock Purdy, Joe Burrow. That's the hope. Did they get somebody like that in the 5th round, 4th or 5th round? Did they pull a Cowboys and get their guy late in the game? Spencer Rattler was a good college quarterback. He really was. And he wasn't good for the big lights of OU, but to make his way over to South Carolina and have a strong career over there, make it into the NFL, he goes out there, he starts playing preseason games. I know it's just preseason, but that's what we have to go with. He looked good. So Spencer Rattler under center for the Saints this weekend. The Browns taking on the Eagles in Philly. Philly should take this game. In fact, it's a huge spread. Philly favored by 9.5 points. Dude, the Browns have no quarterback play. Probably the 2 best games of the week involve the NFC East because at 12 o'clock, Washington Commanders travel 25 miles down the street to take on the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think people realize that DC and Baltimore are that close. It's like San Antonio to New Braunfels.
Yeah.
Okay? They're that close to each other. That's a great game, Joe. 4-1 Commanders, Jaden Daniels going out there against the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry just running wild. Who do you got in that game? Because right now, I think the Ravens are going to beat the living crap out of the Commanders because I think that this is going to be welcome to the NFL, Jaden Daniels. You're taking on a really good team.
I got the Commanders beating the Ravens.
Wow. You believe.
Well, it's not that I believe. I just think that this team has what it takes to beat the Ravens. Look, the Ravens have had a pretty decent run right now, right?
Right.
But I think they're going to hit a speed bump here with the Commanders. I think they're going to take them for granted, and the Commanders are going to come out and slap them in the face, dude.
You can make the argument that the 4 wins that the Commanders have were against bad teams. They beat the Giants, they beat the Bengals, they beat the Cardinals, they beat the Browns. Not one winning team.
But the thing with the Commanders, though, they look like a good team.
They do look like a good team.
They look like a very good team, and I think it's going to be a test for them against the Ravens, and I think they're going to be up to the challenge. I believe that they're going to wind up beating them. I think it'll be a close game. Maybe a field goal will separate the two, but I think the Commanders will win.
Now, here's the thing. If they lose this game, they're going to be fine because the next opponents for the Commanders, Carolina, Chicago, Giants, Steelers. They should rattle off at least 3 wins in those 5 games. Commanders should be 7-3 when it's all said and done. Who's talking crap about me?
Spencer Rattler sucks.
You know what? We'll see. Maybe he does. You could be right. We've never seen him in a regular season football game. You might be right. But then again, He looked good in preseason. He was the best looking quarterback. And here's the thing. He was third string in last week's game.
But you're forgetting one important thing. What just happened a couple of days ago? That hurricane, right?
Right.
So you know what's going to happen? Exactly what Sam Salinas is saying. Bucks playing for Tampa after the hurricane against the scrub quarterback. Come on. They'll be playing full of heart. Saints don't stand a chance. Remember what happened with the Saints too? Remember when Katrina happened? They went back in finally when they were able to go and play in their dome.
Right.
And they won. It was a very heartfelt win for the city.
Yeah. Well, the Bucks are the better team. They're favored by 3.5 points. They should win this game. The thing about it, though, is that you have hope, right? Because I know back in the day there were, whenever you have a quarterback that goes down, they say the most popular player in the room is the backup quarterback, right?
Look at this. Spencer Rattler is champagne nice.
Nice.
You know what we're going to do right now, too? Rattler
looks like two moves.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and do the spinning wheel already, man. Before we bring on Johnny Walker. Let's go ahead and get this thing done. I'm going to go ahead and get everything ready here behind the scenes. Just real quick here.
So what we're doing on Fridays, by the way, while you get that going, Fridays we're going to be doing giveaways. So we have everything from Victor Wembanyama, Rookie of the Year cards. We've got tickets that Spernandez is giving away, lower level tickets to a preseason game. We have prizes from Cuts by Jones. We've got things. We've got authentic autographed memorabilia, Tony Parker and things like that.
Yeah.
And we have Spernandez in the middle of the
spinning wheel here. I'm looking to see what happened with my camera. My camera is missing for some reason.
Who are the people involved in here? We have Sam Salinas.
Yeah, these are the ones that have like 200 or more points. You got like Jesse.
How do you
Sam
get points,
Salinas,
by the way?
By watching. So I already have everything set up here. So the more they watch, they're going to be put into the spinning wheel to get prizes. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and do the spinning wheel.
So who's involved right fast? Sam Salinas, Mario Cavazos, Tony Ornelas, JHNSB, Sith, Head Over Fist, Tim Gonzalez, Midtown Texas, Chris Gonzalez, and Jesse A. all vying for an opportunity to win tickets.
Yep.
Courtesy of Spernandez, United States Marine Corps retired.
And we also got to put in it's courtesy of Spernandez and Chicana Fuerte.
So
Fuerte Productions. So thank you to both of them for sponsoring this giveaway.
Very nice. Let's spin that wheel. Do we see the wheel?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Sith Lord Elias won. Oh, you can't see it because it's off screen.
Okay.
But Sith Lord Elias, he won this. So there you go. We'll be contacting Sith Lord Elias. I mean, we didn't rig it in any way. We just,
I don't know. I didn't
random.
see it. I didn't
it's
see it.
It's just random.
I didn't
well,
see
the
it.
people saw it. Look at her. Tony Ornelas, can I spin? You got to get those points, man. The more points you accumulate, the more prizes we'll give away. But you know what? We're giving out the big prizes, which were going to be the Spurs tickets, right? We gave that away. So how about we give away something else just to the other peeps here? So we have some giveaways here that were given to me by Sean Quintero. So we have Maggiano's Grill.
Ooh, Maggiano's is good, dude.
Maggiano's. We have the Magnolia Pancake Haas. And we also have two $25 gift certificates here for PF Chang's.
Nice.
So two $25 gift certificates is we're going to put up for you guys.
Now, are we going to do as in one person wins 25, another one wins 25, or one person wins 50?
We're going to do one person wins 50 because if you're going to go, you're going to want to take a lady, right?
There you go.
Take a friend. I mean, you can't just go and sit there and eat by yourself. So we'll do another giveaway right now for you boys. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel.
Can we got to take Sith out though, right?
Yeah, Sith is out already.
Okay, well, let's X him out so that we change.
Let's see if I can get him out.
No, that was you X out Sam.
Oh, okay. Then I'll change it. Sam Salinas. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and change this here. Save it. It's updating. The wheel is updating. So there you go. Wheel just updated itself. There we are. Though Chris Gonzalez.
Chris Gonzalez.
Congratulations. You are the winner of the PF Chang's gift cards.
Congratulations. See, it pays to watch this show. I like it.
So we have Sith Elias and Chris Gonzalez, who are winners for today.
And thank you to PF Chang's. By the way, Sean Quintero is one of the managers over at PF Chang's at La Cantera.
So I got to go ahead and get on the horn here and call the one and only Johnny Walker. While we do that, let's go ahead and give some love to Jeff Garcia.
Let's do it.
Locked on Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked on Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@Locked on Spurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked on Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
That's right. You can subscribe on Spotify, any place that you find podcasts, and also Kens5.com. We'll revisit Jeff Garcia a little bit later when it comes to Spurs and all the news involving the preseason right now. But we have Johnny Walker on the line, Texas Longhorns great, former Holmes Huskies standout, also a member of the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame. Johnny, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Doing very well. We got that beautiful photo of you up there, man. That's
man, Johnny looking smooth in that photo, dude.
The three-piece suit, three-button suit. Look at that, baby. Look at that.
Look at that,
dude.
I appreciate that, man. You got to fool them sometimes.
Yeah.
You have been on fire, by the way, when it comes to picking these points and the spreads and whatnot when involving your Texas Longhorns and to some extent the Dallas Cowboys as well. Let's talk about the Red River Rivalry first. And I said it right the first time, which amazes me. This game's going to go on ABC, 2:30 p.m. Number 1 ranked Texas Longhorns coming in 5-0. OU coming in 4-1. Ranked 18th. This is the first time they've played each other in the SEC as a conference opponent. Texas favored by 14.5 points. Does that seem like a little high to you?
Actually, I think it sounds a little low. I can say this though. There's always, whenever you have a rivalry game, you kind of got to throw all the records out. You got to throw all the stats out because everything is going to be on the football field. So I think the reason why I say that I give the edge, a bigger edge to Texas, is because that was one of our losses last year. We lost to them 34-30, and I know that they have revenge on their mind, and so I know Quinn is going to be ready to come out firing.
So the only loss that OU has this year is against Tennessee. They lost to Tennessee 25-15 by 10 earlier in the year. That was actually in Norman when that happened. So you can say that against top ranked teams, they haven't done well this year. Texas, though, getting Quinn Ewers back. How important is it to see Quinn Ewers out there? What are you hoping to see from the guy under center?
Man, I know this is a tough game for Quinn to come back. Got all the confidence in the world for him. I know the one good thing I can say is that we can kind of let some of the Heisman hype kind of die down, and now we can just focus on being the quarterback that he can possibly be. So I'm excited to have Quinn Ewers back. I think he's an incredible quarterback. There's no question that he should be the starting quarterback. I guess my only fear is that he'll be a little rusty. I know he's been off 2 games, and this is a big game to come back on.
Now, we got a question for you, Johnny, coming in the chat right now. Our winner, just before we brought you on, Chris Gonzalez here, for our giveaway, he says, does Johnny think it's a trap game for UT since Georgia is coming next week?
No, it's never a trap game. Whenever you're playing the Red River Rivalry, it can't be. It's not a trap game. It's a game that you got to be all in. And literally, it's an amazing experience. I don't know if you've ever gotten a chance to go to the game, but it's literally half of the stadium is in red and the other half is in burnt orange. It's just an incredible experience. So like I said, the hype is there. It's really like a whole week of getting ready for the game. I mean, it's not just not the game day. I mean, it's a whole week of celebrating and partying and people coming in. So it's you get caught up in it, and like I said, anything can happen. It really is. I wouldn't call it a trap game, but it's definitely a game that they're going to have to be ready to play because I know Oklahoma has something to prove.
Well, we had to ask about that because 5 out of the top 11 teams, including number 1 ranked Alabama, lost last week.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You don't want to say it's a trap game, but what's it like having a gauntlet of games where you're taking on 2 really solid programs on back-to-back weeks? Do you just take it one game at a time, or how does that all work?
That's the only thing that you can do. And again, like I said, being a rivalry, you never know what's going to happen, man. There's been times when we were favored coming in and we got our butts whooped and vice versa. So it's exciting. But you know that there's a lot of emotion that comes into a rivalry game. So you never know what can happen. I wouldn't call it a trap game, but it's a game that definitely got to focus, and they can't be thinking about Georgia next week.
So tell me about that stadium over there in Dallas. Taking part of the pageantry that is that game, where half the field is in burnt orange, the other half of the field is in that crimson maroon color. What's it like being in that stadium, on the field, off the field? Tell us about the whole dynamic of what goes on as the Texas what is the festival going on? The festival that goes on over there, that's the Texas State Fair goes on.
Yeah.
What's it like, the pageantry and all that of that game?
The one thing that I remember more than anything is literally the first time coming out and going down the walkway, getting ready to come into the stadium. It was just incredible. I think during that time they allowed us to both come out, but I want to say shortly after that we quit doing that, coming out at the same time. Because we'd had some little early game skirmishes that started. So, but it was just incredible to come into the stadium and truly just see, half the stadium in that maroon color and the other half in orange. It's almost impossible to put into words. You even if you don't know anything about it, you completely feel it. The energy that's in the stadium, it's incredible.
Are the Longhorns the best team in the land right now? Are they truly the number 1 team of the nation?
Yes, I will always say that. Yes, they are number 1 team.
Well, I'm not saying that as
Come on,
a,
Mike.
I don't want it to be like asking Cowboy fan, is it your year?
Right. Yeah.
But
well, you know what? I will say that the defense has impressed me this year. I didn't know going into this season what to expect from the defense. Right now, they're ranked number 3 in the country, so that has definitely been a plus. I knew offensively we were going to have a very dynamic offense. It was kind of upsetting to lose CJ at the beginning of the season, but I think they've done a great job by doing running back up by committee. The guys have done a great job of picking up the offense with Gibson and some of the other running backs that we weren't counting on at the beginning of the year, but their passing game is second to none. I want to say, I know so many people were upset losing Xavier Worthy and Adeline Mitchell and Saunders, but man, these receivers they brought in this year are incredible. I mean, they've got one of the most explosive offenses in the country by far. I don't think there's anybody hands down that has a receiving core that the University of Texas has, and that's always going to give them a plus going into any game that they play against.
it also helps, man. If your quarterback goes down, you got another stud right behind
You got
him.
another stud right there waiting to take his place.
So give us a score for this weekend's game. Again, the spread's 14.5. You're saying that looks a little light, and I will give you this. Back a few weeks ago when we were looking at that Michigan spread, I was like, man, UT's favored by 3, and you're like, dude, they're gonna destroy that team. You got that one right. Give me a score in this game.
This was a tough one because it's a rivalry game, and I know that Oklahoma is relying on Michael Hawkins, their freshman quarterback, and this is a big game for a freshman to have to come in playing rivalry games. That's always tough being a freshman. I just think that Texas had a chance to heal, work out their little kinks. I believe Texas will win this game 28-10. I really do. I think there's a chance for it to be another blowout for Texas, especially if they come out firing. Knowing Quinn Ewers and the type of quarterback that he is, and knowing that he's had to sit out a couple of games, and knowing that if something does happen, he's got a stud coming in to take his place. So I think he'll be on his A game. So I just see Texas being able to handle Oklahoma. I think forcing Oklahoma to have to throw the football is probably not going to be in their best interest. So I think that we get up on them early, and then we'll continue to put our feet on the pedal.
Now
keep it going.
Keeping it going with college football, we're talking to Johnny Walker, Texas Longhorns great. was a fantastic member of the Holmes Huskies back in the day, back in the 80s. Holmes Huskies, man, that's where I went to high school as well. I'm looking at the odds as who's going to win the Heisman Trophy. We saw Quinn Ewers go down with an injury, so he was one of the top ones, and he fell. And according to Vegas odds, BetMGM, DraftKings, and all of those sites, the top two are not quarterbacks. They've got Ashton Gentry, who's the running back from Boise State, who is currently averaging more than 10 yards per carry at number one, and Travis Hunter, who plays both sides of the field as wide receiver and cornerback. How exciting is it to see this award possibly go to a non-quarterback for once? Because 8 out of 10 times it goes to the QB.
Well, I think it's always been biased and been given to a quarterback. The award is supposed to be for the best college football player. So there's no question that Travis Hunter definitely fits that bill. I mean, being able to do what he's doing on both sides of the football, and anybody that's averaging 10 yards a carry in football is always definitely going to be. That's crazy numbers to even think about that. I would say that one thing I will say, I think that Quinn Ewers has a legitimate chance to get back into the Heisman running if he goes out and dominates against Oklahoma and Georgia. I think if he can finish out the year strong, I think he has a good chance of being mentioned, or at least to be in the top 3 of Heisman hopefuls. I really do. I know that there was a lot of disappointment on his end. Getting hurt and missing those 2 games, but they were against teams that really weren't really ranked. But coming into this home stretch and going in up against these SEC schedule now, I think if he really shows what he can do and the Texas takes care of what they need to do offensively, I think he legitimately has a chance to get back into the Heisman race.
Now, Ashton Gentry, we're talking about from Boise State, the running back. I'm going to give you the stats real fast.
That's ridiculous.
Okay. So far in 5 games this year, he has 95 carries for 1,031 yards.
It's ridiculous.
That's like a wide receiver.
Wow.
10.9 yards per carry. By the way, in 5 games, 16 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, like, he can literally just stop now. He didn't even have to play the rest of the season. The numbers he put up. The only issue that I have with this, and I know that people always say this, he's at Boise State, and I have to be honest, he's not playing one of the better schedules. So you're not playing against some of the better defenses. So if he was able to do that, and like in the SEC, there'd be no question he'd be the hands down winner for the Heisman Trophy. But that's the only issue that I have with it. Now, I'm not taking away anything. I mean, like I said, averaging 10 yards a carry is absolutely ridiculous for anybody to do in any league or at any level. But I just hate to say that. I don't think that they're playing the competition that will allow him the opportunity to get the Heisman.
Well, I'll agree with you on 3 of the 5 games. Okay, but he did play 2 good teams. They played against the number 7 Oregon Ducks. They lost 37-34. He rushed for 192 and 3 touchdowns that game. And then they also played Washington State, who's currently 4-1. He rushed for 259 and 4 touchdowns. So even against the Power 5 or what is Power 4, whatever they're calling it these days, the best conferences, he's doing okay. Doing all right.
He's doing all right.
But
I wouldn't consider Oregon and Washington State some of the top defenses, but I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I would hate to see where they're ranked defensive wise. You're not going up against a Texas that's got the number 3 defense in the country, or an Oklahoma that's got one of the top defensive lines in the country. So, but I will give you that. He has shown against Oregon and Washington State. But again, I'd say week in and week out, man, when you got a tough schedule like SEC, and to be able to put up those kind of numbers, there, he would win it hands down.
Got a question for you, Johnny. Got a incoming question for you from one of our viewers. Tim Gonzalez, friend of the show. He's been watching forever as well. He says, Johnny, if you were on this Texas team right now, what is the next 24 hours before kickoff? What's it like? Is it game feel, rest and relaxation, or what's the vibe? Like, what do you do to prepare yourself?
That's a good question. That's a heck of a question. For me, I was chilling, but I think the thing that was the most exciting is in the hotel, in the lobby, there would be like mega movie stars and models and all kinds of things in the lobby, which was crazy. I mean, you literally could go down in the lobby and you can meet Matthew McConaughey. I mean, like, take pictures with him, shake their hands. So I was always enamored by all of the stars that really took to this game. I mean, it was such a big rivalry, and they would all be down in the lobby mingling with all the players and the fans. So I always enjoyed that the most, man, just being able to do that. But for the most part, I was just chilling, man. I was ready to go to work.
Now, Johnny Walker keeps it real 24/7, by the way. Tony Donales says, Johnny's the guy you want to take to Las Vegas and bet on games.
There it is.
You're the ringer when it comes to it all.
Hey, he's been money,
He's
man.
been money, dude. He's been money, except the only time he's gotten it wrong was when he believed that the Cowboys were going to destroy the Saints, and that didn't happen. Alvin Kamara ran wild.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I brought that up, though, is because we talk about whether or not the Cowboys win or lose, right? Do they win against bad teams? Do they struggle against good teams? I think it can boil down to the fact that the Cowboys struggle against teams that have good running backs. So if Alvin Kamara is coming into town, if Derrick Henry's coming into town, there's going to be an issue.
In all fairness, though, I don't think they're the only teams that struggle against Derrick Henry and Alvin Kamara. I mean, I think those guys are good enough to make all defenses struggle. I think the biggest thing for the Cowboys is their start. I think if they can get the offense rolling right off the back, I think they become tough to beat. I think the defense plays better. I think offensively they get into a rhythm. And that puts a lot of pressure on teams, and it forces them to have to start throwing the football. And I think that's where Dallas Cowboys are playing well. They're doing a lot better pass defensively than they are against the running game.
Well, Johnny, is this a put up or shut up week for the Dallas Cowboys? Cowboys are 3-2. They've won all three of their games on the road. They're 0-2 at home. 3-0 on the road, 0-2 at home. The Detroit Lions looking for some payback coming into town. Detroit coming in at 3-1, one of the best teams in the NFC. A lot of people have them as a darling pick to go to the Super Bowl. Is this a put up or shut up week for the Cowboys?
I think it's definitely a put up week. I am a Campbell fan. I think Dan Campbell's done an incredible job with the Detroit Lions. This is a tough one, man, because I know that I know that Detroit definitely has revenge on their mind, because I think that was probably one of the worst calls by referees in history that last time they played him when the lineman checked in, but they said he didn't check in. So I think this is definitely a big game. I hate to say it, I don't think Dallas is going to be able to pull us off, but again, a lot is going to depend on their start. If they can get going right off the back offensively, I think Dallas is always tough to beat when that happens. So I can tell you how it's going to go after the first couple of series. I'll be able to let you know.
I got a question for you, Johnny, because I went ahead and retweeted this out on the X, right? And NBC Sports went ahead and put out a question to all the NFL fans out there. Best 3-2 team in the NFL, and your choices are Buffalo Bills, Steelers, Packers, Broncos, Cowboys, Ravens, Buccaneers, Falcons, and Bears. You know who was left off this list because they are not 3-2?
Who's that?
New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, but we beat your ass.
Hey, but what happened after that? You've lost 3 in a row. You're only as good as your record says you are.
Spencer Rattler
only as good as your record says you are, Mike.
Spencer Rattler starting his first
See
game.
how he gets salty, Johnny?
That's
like a salt.
You know what?
You have to put your jersey away now.
You can talk trash all you want, but we beat the living crap out of your team.
It don't matter, man. You're only as good as your record says you are.
Micah Parsons is questionable for this week's
Johnny,
game.
which is the best 3-2 team in your opinion?
Oh, okay, that's a good question.
I would have to say Baltimore. I think Baltimore kind of shocked everyone, including themselves, starting off the season 0-2. But I think reality has started to kick back in with them and the rest of the NFL. They've got a great football team. I mean, they got probably the best quarterback in the NFL. So it's great to see Baltimore being able to turn things around. Then number 2, I would say the Dallas Cowboys. The problem with the Cowboys is you just never know what team is going to show up. They can dominate. They can look dominant in one series or one half, and then it's a totally different football team the next half. So if Dallas can stay consistent, I definitely would put them as one of the top 3-2 teams in the league this year.
And the Ravens have the Commanders this week. Jaden Daniels, who's looking like an MVP candidate. It's basically a home game for both teams because both cities are within 30 miles of each other. What does it say to you? What are you expecting this week out of Jaden Daniels to go up against Baltimore? Is it one of those things where, because like last year, CJ Stroud was on fire, playoffs, met at the Ravens and got destroyed. Are we going to see that happen to Jaden Daniels this time around?
You know what? I think that he's in a great system. I think that his tributes and his tool set that he has is great for the system that they have, and he's really thriving. I don't see any letdown with Jaden Daniels. I think he's going to continue to shine. He's a great quarterback, great kid. Got a good system. He's getting his confidence. I think he gets better and better every week. So Washington is definitely a team that I would fear playing at this time. I think every game he's getting better and they're getting more confidence. And man, he really looks good out there.
Some teams that are kind of surprising right now in the NFL as we look around the landscape right now. Minnesota at 5-0. Mm-hmm. Kirk Cousins throwing for 509 yards last week and just balling. When you look at the NFC right now, because I'm looking at the standings right now, you've got the Commanders at 4-1, Cowboys at 3-2, Eagles right behind them at 2-2. You've got the Lions and Vikings and Packers and Bears all with winning records right there in the NFC North. It's looking more and more like the Cowboys need to win the division to make the playoffs. Is that a safe assessment right now? Because right now I'm looking at the Buccaneers and the Falcons, where they're like, oh, only one team's gonna come out of that division. I think both of those teams are gonna come out of that division. I think we're gonna get some wild cards out of the NFC North because the Packers are good, the Lions are good, and they're chasing after the Vikings. Is it a division title or bust for the Cowboys?
Man, that's a good question, man. I think the only way to answer that question is whichever teams can stay healthy. Because I think that they have some dominant players on each one of those teams, and if they can keep those guys on the football field, I think that will be a good determination of how the playoffs are going to work out. Because it's kind of early right now to be able to say that. Because who would have thought Michael Parsons would be hurt? I mean, he had only missed one game his whole career before this. So you never know. You never know what's going to happen. As long as the injury bug stays away, I think Dallas is definitely going to have to be able to be one of the top teams. I don't know about winning the division, but they're definitely going to have to be one of the top teams to be able to make it to the playoffs.
Two quick questions about the Cowboys. You mentioned Micah Parsons. He's questionable this week. Why do the Cowboys defense look better with Parsons out?
Did they look? You're saying why did they look better?
Yeah.
I think they just have to realize that they don't have him, and I think what happens is you start getting into how great he is, and I think that the guys have to realize, hey, you know what, we're going to have to do it without our star. And so I think everybody starts relying on each other, and they start playing more as a team instead of sitting back and waiting to see what Micah does. We know that he's a great football player. We know that he is going to make some big plays in every game. But when he's not in the lineup, that means that everybody, all 11 guys, are going to have to make some things happen. And I think that's what's helping Dallas, having more of a team concept when Micah hasn't been in the lineup.
Talking to Johnny Walker, Longhorns, great. Holmes Husky, great. You were a wide receiver, and so you come from a perspective of knowing what it's like to catch the ball and things like that. The game-winning touchdown in last week's game for the Cowboys was caught by Jalen Tolbert, who was a third-round draft pick out of South Alabama, who struggled his first 2 seasons. People calling him a bust. He stepped up when Brandon Cooks went down with an injury. Jalen Tolbert with more than 80 yards receiving last game. The game-winning touchdown in the last minute. How surprised were you by Jalen Tolbert's play? And is that something that you expect more of from him?
I definitely expect more of that from him. I wasn't really surprised. I think it goes along with the identity of the Dallas Cowboys. I think they had to accept the fact, or Dak had to accept the fact that CeeDee Lamb is going to get double covered. I mean, it's just that's just how it's going to be. And so you're going to have to start relying on other players in the offense, especially at wide receiver. And they definitely have the ability to do it. And some of the injuries, I think Brandon Cook was injured. So some of the injuries allowed some of these younger guys the opportunity to step up and make some big plays. And they're doing that. So it's good that they're able to do that. And I'm glad that Dak is not is not just looking in 88's direction every play.
Now, CeeDee Lamb yelled something at Dak Prescott. People were trying to read lips there to see what he was saying, but it didn't look friendly at all. Were you surprised that CeeDee Lamb went after Dak so publicly? And as a wide receiver, why are you guys divas?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I probably the only thing that I could think of was it's probably something to do with his contract. He probably gets paid per catch or something, or he's got to get so many yards for some one of his bonuses or something. But no, CD is a gamer, man. He wants to win. I think those are the things that this happen on the field. But at the end of the game, you're shaking hands and giving each other high fives because you got the victory. About being divas, man, that's the name of the game. That's just the position, man. You got to be a diva to be a wide receiver. That's how it goes.
You know what? It ain't never your fault, right, Johnny? If you didn't catch the ball, that ball was overthrown. It was thrown behind me, and that's you got to throw it in my hands.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
Jesse Martinez reaching out saying that his daughter goes to Holmes, that she's a senior this year, that tonight is homecoming. We do have a question about your future because you're a coach right now in high school football. Asking the question, if a rival asked you to be a head coach, would you do it? What I mean by that is they're asking the question, you went to Holmes, what if Jay or Marshall or Clark or another school said, hey, be our coach?
Yeah, it was actually
would you do it for a rival?
Tim Gonzalez asked that question.
That is a really good question, man. That's a tough one. I tell you what, man. Especially being from San Antonio and have green and gold burning through these veins here, I would probably turn it down, and I would wait to be able to be the head coach at Holmes High School. I have a passion about high school football, especially at Holmes High School. I hate to see that they're so downtrodden now, and I would want to be part of the reason why the Holmes Huskies got back to where they were. So I'm an assistant head coach now. So if I got the opportunity to be the head coach at Holmes, I would definitely take it. But I would graciously turn down any other opportunity at one of the other schools.
Because it was Tony Ornelas that was asking you the question. He said, ask Johnny if Holmes doesn't hire him as a future football head coach if John Jay offered him the head coach's position.
Man, I would. You know what, man? There's so much blood. I mean, you know what? We still get on it now. Guys that we played against when we were Jay. I mean, we still get into it now, man. I just don't think. I don't think I could do it, man. I really don't. I just couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it.
You would upset the Cash Twins and Wilbur Odom, dude. They would be pissed.
Everybody would be upset, man. So they would all be a part of helping getting Holmes back to where they need to be. But no, man, I couldn't do that to my brothers, man. I couldn't do that.
Hanover Fist coming out and saying that it's already come out that CeeDee Lamb said jump ball 4. That's not what he said. That's not what he said.
He probably said, throw me the damn ball.
That was definitely the cleanest version of that.
We have a $5 super chat coming in from Tex-Mex Frank.
Yeah,
saying so much Cowboys discussion. It's psyched me up more for this week's game. Let's do this. Good luck, Cowboys. Greet the long version. Yeah. We'll get the Grito for you at the end of the show. I promise you. But it's one of those things where this is a big week for the Cowboys.
Yes,
because we talk about there's a big difference between being 3-2 and 2-3. Mm-hmm. There's also a big difference between being 4-2 and 3-3.
Yes,
so it is a big game because the Cowboys have a long stretch of games where they've got the Lions, they've got the Niners on the road next week. Well, actually, they got a bye week, but then they take on the Niners. Niners finally looking good yesterday, got back to 3-3. Then they go on the road against Atlanta. The Dirty Birds are just lighting it up these days. The Eagles tend to have the Cowboys number. They're going into Jerry World. Then the Texans come into town. Then you go on the road against the Commanders. They got to get at least 3 or 4 of these games to make the playoffs. And it's just
Dallas has a tough schedule, man. I mean, they there's no room for error here. I mean, they really, because this next couple of games coming up really is going to set the tone for the rest of the football season, or even if they have an opportunity to go to the playoffs. Man, it's gonna be tough, man. You've got to be you got to be on point, and I think that the success that they're having and what I'm seeing right now, they have a good opportunity of being very successful in this run. If they can keep everybody healthy, continue to spread the ball around like we're seeing Dak is doing, and give the ball a little bit more to Dowdell, I think they have a good chance of getting through this unscathed.
All right, give me a prediction for the score.
Oof. Man, Dallas is always a tough one.
You've already said the Lions are going to win this game.
I did say the Lions were going to win the game. I did say that. You know what? I am going to say that I'm going to put my Dallas Cowboy hat on, and I'm going to say that Dallas Cowboys can win this game 24-17. And a lot of that has to do if Mike is going to play. If Mike is going to play, I think they will be able to beat the Lions 24-17. Now, is he questionable, or is he supposed to be able to play this week?
Questionables, according to ESPN.
So questionable means he's going to play.
50-50.
So yes, I think that Dallas wins this game 24-17. With an upset, because I think Detroit is probably favored.
Johnny, how did you contradict yourself within 20 minutes? How did this happen?
You know what?
He flip-flopped on himself.
I put my Dallas Cowboy hat on, and again I started thinking about some of the things you said. Tolbert's starting to show up on the offensive side of the ball. Dak truly trying to spread the ball around a little bit more. I think they have a better chance of being able to be successful against the Detroit Lions. And with Micah also coming back on defense, they had to look at all the intangibles that went along with this game. So with Micah being able to come back, and I know he's ready to get out and make some things happen, I think Dallas has a chance to upset the Detroit Lions this week.
Joe, we're gonna allow this, man. He said he started out the conversation by saying Cowboys aren't gonna win.
But
he said Cowboys aren't gonna win, and then comes out and says, "Yeah, but they're gonna win by a touchdown." How did this happen?
Well, I didn't put all the intangibles in, so I had a chance to kind of think about all of the different pieces that are going on with the Cowboys. I think they got a chance. They really do have a chance of beating Detroit. Now, like I said, Detroit is going to be out for revenge now. But I think the Dallas Cowboys, if Dak continues to do what he's doing now, spreading the ball around, and Micah comes in on fire like I think he will be, I think the Dallas Cowboys do have a chance of being able to beat the Detroit Lions.
I'm going to go Cowboys win.
I'm going to go 38-27 Lions.
No, I agree with somebody here in the chat. 27-24 Cowboys win by a field goal from the Golden Leg.
From Brennan Aubrey. 60 yards of prediction by Tony Morales. I think the Lions just have too much firepower. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Laporta. I mean, there's just too much for the Cowboys defense.
But here's the thing, though. You're getting Bland back. You're getting your other starting cornerback back. I forgot about that. He's supposed to be coming back this week. You got your top pass rusher coming back this week. We know that Dallas struggles against great running teams. Detroit is not a running team. So I think, like I said, I think Dallas has a good chance of beating Detroit because I think they have one of the better passing defenses in the NFL.
I don't know. Jahmyr Gibbs looks pretty decent, man.
He's all right. He's not one of the top running backs, but he's decent. I'll give him that. He's decent, but I wouldn't consider Detroit a running team.
Last three games of Jahmyr Gibbs against the Buccaneers, the Cardinals, and Seahawks. He had 84 yards, 83 yards, 78 yards, right?
That's not enough to beat Dallas.
But the average per carry, 6.5, 5.2, 5.6. He averages 5.3 yards per carry for the year. They're gonna give him the ball 25 times.
Yeah. Are you gonna go against my Cowboys because your Saints are going back to being the Aints again? Is that what it is?
Hey, we got a victory against you guys this year, man. That's all that matters. That
was their Super Bowl, Johnny. That was their Super Bowl.
Hey, man. At least our Super Bowls.
Now they're back to being the Aints again. Now you're going to keep.
Hey, man. At least our Super Bowl is in Blu-ray. Your Super Bowl's in VHS.
You're only as good as your record says you are. That's what you said.
And you're going to be 3-3. You're going to be an I team when it's all said and done.
You're already I. You're going to lose again. Y'all going to lose again.
Hey. I got to share this story, man. I got to go to Dallas with doing a function with the National Football League alumni, and I got the opportunity to meet Drew Pearson, which was one of the best moments. I was able to meet with him, take pictures with him, talk it up with him, and that was the guy that I looked up to, and that was the inspiration to become a wide receiver. So that was like one of the checks off the bucket list, man. It was great to be able to talk to him and be able to share with him. And that was somebody that I looked up to. And I was able to continue being a wide receiver. And it was all because of what I used to watch him do on Sundays with the Dallas Cowboys.
You know, I am not a Cowboy fan. But I did.
Obviously, I
met Drew Pearson. I met Drew Pearson, and I was smitten. Oh, the guy is so nice.
Yeah, man. He looks like he can still play, man. Yeah, he looks good, man. He really is. He's really nice, and it was great. It was a great experience to be able to meet him.
Very nice. That's Johnny Walker, Longhorn great, former Holmes Huskies standout, member of the Texas Football Hall of Fame. Very nice high school football Hall of Fame. Johnny, thank you for being with us, because Demon Mike's going to make an appearance, and I don't know if you want in on this, because you've got your reputation to uphold. But thanks for being on with us, Johnny. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, man, I love it, man. See you guys next week, man.
All right, Johnny. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
He's amazing. He is amazing. Let's if we can go to my screen real fast.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the runner-up right there of the WNBA Rookie of the Year, Angel Reese. Demon Mike making an appearance. She was at a taping of Nick Cannon's Wild and Out, looking like a nugget.
I knew you were going to do that.
Absolute nugget.
I knew you were going to do that. I even put it out there. I tweeted while you were talking with Johnny.
Yeah.
And I put the video, because they show different video from a different angle, right? I said, I know you're going to be making an appearance on today's show.
Caitlin Clark could never.
That's a lot of cake for you to handle, man.
That's a lot of cake, man. Mm-hmm.
I know Mike want a slice of that.
We all do, dude. I mean, that's.
Nah, I don't know about that, man.
Oh, what's going on over here? So there you go. That was courtesy of TMZ Sports. Anyway, wearing booty shorts, very cool.
Woo! Look at Turner.
Yeah, no,
he's looking like a gremlin.
Yeah. She's freaking hot, dude.
She's inspiring Mike's new wardrobe. No, please.
She's freaking hot.
No. You should not. Like, if you're looking for Halloween costume ideas, man, this should be the furthest from your mind, dude.
Mm-hmm.
No. Can you imagine, dude? Oh, God.
So Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs has an article today talking about former Austin Spurs guard announces his retirement, and ex-Spurs guard, is that Speedy Claxton?
Yeah.
Talks about the Tony Parker, Jason Kidd trade rumors from 20 years ago.
Yeah, because Speedy Claxton was actually on Sweep the League.
Yeah.
So that's probably what Jeff is doing. He's putting the interview that
Very
they had
nice
with the Sweep the League.
That's Rudy Campos Jr. and Derek Gervin.
Yeah.
Jr.
Yep.
Derek Gervin, rather. So Speedy Claxton, you know what? That 03 title doesn't happen without him. You know, it takes those role players to make it happen. Again, you can subscribe to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs at Jeff G Spurs Zone. He provides that daily content when it comes to the Spurs, and again, he's going to have daily. I think Casey Vieira, is on today as well. Let's give some love to MCS General Contracting, man. You're sporting the gear as always.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and give them some love. MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
Again, MCS General Contracting, that diamond hard concrete.
Diamond Hard Concrete, and they also help sponsor the Diamond Hard Chat here, sponsored by MCS General Contracting. And if you want things done right the first time, you call Chris Leha. Make sure you go in and give him a ring over at 210-774-9155.
We were talking about Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs. Today's Locked On Spurs episode is talking about one thing we need to see, and it's referencing Malachi Branham. Malachi Branham, man, it's one of those seasons for him. He might be the odd man out because of Stephon Castle taking some minutes, because other players are vying for the opportunity to be a shooting guard for this team. Malachi Branham, a very streaky player, but he might not be good enough to be kept on. He might go the way of Lonnie Walker.
Yeah,
and
man,
be shown the door.
That's the thing, with the Stephon Castle, making a strong case for himself as somebody who should be in the rotation to get heavy minutes this upcoming season, because the kid's looking like the truth, man.
Yeah. And
Um,
a lot of Spurs fans are out there going, well, what happens? Who's going to get minutes? Trey. And I'm like, dude,
it's not
you
enough.
understand the number 4 overall pick
Can get some run.
leapfrogs everybody.
Unfortunately, Malachi Branham might be a casualty. You have him, you have Blake Wesley, you have some other fan favorites here, and you can only go into the season with so many players.
Yeah, so sometimes you lose your spot. Zach
Yeah.
Collins is losing a spot to Mamu.
Man, Mamu's playing some good ball, dude.
He is.
I like his energy. I like the way what he does out there on the court. I just think he's a better backup center than Collins, but that's just me.
Let's get that entertainment bump going, baby.
All right, let's go ahead and get the entertainment bump going.
Did you know that Monday is the 30-year anniversary of the release of Pulp Fiction, Quentin Tarantino's classic from 1994? I was 17 years old when this movie came out. Love the movie, seen it millions of times. And in honor of all this, TheRinger.com, which is Bill Simmons' outfit,
Yeah.
they do a lot of pop culture stuff over there. They did a ranking of the top 85. I don't know how they got to 85, but the top 85 Quentin Tarantino characters ever ranked. And Joe, we're going to go through the top 10, man, because there's a lot of people that are on here. I don't know how you get to 85, right? But get down to the final 10. Did they get this right? Because I've seen a lot of Tarantino movies. Some I liked, some I didn't like.
Yeah.
Like Inglourious Bastards and Jackie Brown and all that. All right. Reservoir Dogs was really good. Kill Bill was okay. But man, it's to me, it's all about Pulp Fiction. How do they have Marcellus Wallace at 15? Can you tell us what Marcellus looks like? He's big and he's black. Mr. White of Reservoir Dogs at 14. Shoshana, 13, Glorious Bastards. Max Cherry from Jackie Brown at 12. Lieutenant Aldo Rain from Inglourious Bastards at 11. But let's get to the top 10.
Yeah.
Calvin Candy from Django Unchained. Gonna be honest with you, I didn't like Django. Did you watch that movie, Joe?
I did watch Django. I thought it was all right.
I mean, I just didn't get into it. There was just something about it. I didn't like it. Just was what it was. Number 9, The Wolf. Winston the Wolf on Pulp Fiction. I love that character. He just comes on in and just fixes everything. I like it when Travolta's character is like, when Jules is like, you gonna say thank you? He was like, what do you want me to say? Pretty please with say pretty please. Thank you so much. I'm doing you a favor. The Wolf. Number 8, Cliff Booth from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Mia Wallace. So notice here that we have, we're probably going to get her again. This is Mia Wallace from played by Uma Thurman in Pulp Fiction. You have that iconic dance, right? And then she also says when she takes that cocaine, I say, God damn. Number 6, Rick Dalton, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, played by Leonardo DiCaprio. Number 5, Vincent Vega, Pulp Fiction. It brought John Travolta back on the map, right? He had fallen off after about a decade of flops. Number 4, Jackie Brown, who's from Jackie Brown, played by Pam Grier. 3, Hans Landa from Inglourious Bastards, played by Christopher Waltz. Number 2, Uma Thurman again, playing the bride in Kill Bill. Kill Bill, man, that is a violent-ass movie.
It is. It was his forte going in there because he kind of wanted to make it into like almost like an anime style, like a graphic novel brought to life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Head of a Fist says, Winston Wolfe, only competent criminal in Pulp Fiction. Dude, when Jules accidentally blows off the face of the guy that's in the back seat of the car, boom. You gotta pick up the pieces of the skull and all that. Oh, just get the brains and get the skull, to put the blankets on top. Gross. Number 1, according to The Ringer, the greatest character in the world of Quentin Tarantino is Jules, played by Samuel L. Jackson. Okay. The whole Kahuna Burger thing. Look at the big brain on Brad.
Yeah,
We got the name wrong, by the way.
that was funny, dude.
This is a tasty burger.
No, I like it when they're walking up the stairs and they're trying to go ahead and shake the guy down right before they get there. It's not time yet.
Yeah.
So come over here. They start talking about the burger and, what are we talking about? Before they go in there and they shake this brother down.
Yeah.
That was funny. They're like, oh, it's not time yet. We still got a couple minutes. I'm like, the hell with that.
Just go. Say what? One more time. What? He shoots him.
And we just watched that. I watched that the other day. I think it was with one of my with the wife and the kids, right? One of the kids was there watching it with us. And I saw that scene again, where they're talking to the burgers and all that. And I'm just like, that's dumb, dude. I would have busted the door down. Why are you all wasting time? Like, just get it out the way.
Ezekiel 25:17, the path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the inequities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of the darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee. That's the quote from Pulp Fiction. I agree with Jules being it. It can't be anybody other than Jules.
Yeah.
Great movie. 30-year anniversary is going to be on Monday.
Matt Lerma, a man has to keep a schedule, Joe. Man, the hell with that, dude. You're doing some seedy stuff, man. You'd be like, you know what? You never know. You wait to be on schedule, you might get found out.
Yeah.
And then you can't wait. No, back then you could get away with it because there wasn't a lot of cell phones and cameras everywhere. But now somebody's watching you, dude, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, what do you got going on this weekend?
This weekend, I'm going to be going to the Big Texas Comic-Con, man. I'm going to go check that out.
Oh, go check out Jeff Garcia from Lockdown Spurs.
Yeah, probably make some rounds around there. I think Rudy Campos is going to be there, too, with Sweep the League. I think they got a table. Might go and stop by, say hi, go take a look at some of the wares that they got for sale there. I know my son's excited. He wants to spend some of his hard-earned cash on some artwork and some other stuff that they have out there.
Jeff is doing the Cobra Kai, conversation with Billy Zabka, Ralph Macchio, Peyton List, and all of those from Cobra Kai later on tonight. Right, it's a Friday thing, but the whole thing goes on this weekend. Jeff Garcia, really big into geekdom. Ron Nirenberg basically knighted him as the what's it called, Geek Ambassador of San Antonio, something like that. Very cool. I will be at the Tobin Center tonight. Going to go watch Jeff R. Curry perform, the very, very popular comedian on social media, whether it be TikTok or Facebook or Instagram. He's all over the place, Jeff R. Curry. I'll be then driving to Houston tomorrow morning because I got tickets to go see Boys to Men. Robin Thicke and 112, Peaches and Cream.
I forgot to say that on Monday, we're taking a break.
Oh, Monday,
because I got a 3-day weekend coming up because I work for the feds now, right?
Yeah.
So I have, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. I'm taking off, man.
So Monday, is that Columbus Day?
And no, it's Indigenous People Day.
Okay, formerly known as Columbus Day.
Yes. So Monday, we're not going to have a show. We'll be off. It'll be a short week next week. We'll be starting the show on Tuesday, talking about the weekend of sports. See, talking about Cowboys, that they win, that they lose.
Yeah.
What's going on with your Saints, and some of the other teams around the NFL. Because I believe we're going to be coming into week 7 now. So I think the Cowboys are going to have a bye coming up here as well. So
Tony's asking the question, why are you laughing when Mike says Boys to Men?
Because, man, I can't see you going to that Boys to Men concert, bro. Like going in there and then you're going to be singing. Because I laugh every time I hear that Motown Philly. Because you got to do the dance, right?
Back in school, we used to dream about this
and every time
day.
you say Boys to Men,
Could it really
and
happen?
I can hear you. I could see you doing that in karaoke, and you're going, Boys to Men, Boys to Men, and then you're turning around trying to do the dance, man.
Dude, I used to wear the whole denim shirt with the denim jeans and the tie. Used to rock it, baby. Used to rock it.
Did you wear the overalls? You know how the overalls were things?
Never
with
had the
Red
overall
Wings?
look. Never had the Red Wings look. Never had the overalls. Never had the cross colors.
You know who had the Red Wings? I know for sure. I don't know about the overalls. I got to ask my boy, Spernandez.
Yeah. So I saw Boys to Men at Techport about 2 years ago when Techport first opened up. Smashing Pumpkins was their first concert, first big concert over there. Then Boys to Men was one of the first ones out there as well. John Dyer Our good friend John Dyer was
Yeah.
out there with his wife, and I got to hang
I
out
was
with
at
him.
the Smashing Pumpkins concert. That was the concert that opened up the Techport.
Yeah, and Billy
Center.
Corgan said nice things about the whole
Oh, he was wearing
facility.
the Spurs hat.
And then
man.
all of a sudden, bands started calling Techport, going, "Hey, we want to see what this venue is all about," because Billy Corgan raved about it. It's a great place.
Great place.
I've
man.
seen Boyz II Men there, and I saw Boyz II Men back in the 90s. God, where was that at? They played with Mary J. Blige, and they played with Montel Jordan.
Yeah.
I don't remember what would have been open in the 90s. It wasn't the Alamo
Yeah.
Dome. I don't know where they were, but I got to see them downtown. So Jeff Arcuri tonight, Boyz II Men tomorrow. Going to be partying up in Houston tomorrow, and then I'll be driving back to San Antonio on
Yeah.
Sunday.
What we're gonna do too, because everybody's over here wanting to win stuff, So we were giving the people that had watched us a chance to win something as a thank you to them. So you have to have 200 or more points. So what we're gonna do starting next week, we're gonna set the counters back to 0.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna reset everything.
I like it.
And that way, every week moving forward now, the people who watch us the most for that week are going to be entered in the drawing to win something at the end of the week.
Hey, thank you to Spernandez, by the
Yeah.
way, for the prizes that were won today. Thank you to Sean Quintero for the gift cards that were given away today to PF Chang's. Go visit him over at the location at La Cantera.
They got a good happy hour.
They do have a very good happy hour, and I recommend the Japanese old fashioned. It's a little bit different, but it's good. I like it over there. So go check that out as well. Thank you to all of our subscribers. Like and share, hit the like button on the way out the door. And Chris Gonzalez says that I should end it this way. It's been a fantastic week. The week is over. Dare I say, we've come to the end of the road. Have a fantastic weekend. Go Lions. F the Cowboys.
No, go Cowboys. Puro pinche Cowboys.
Oh, wait.
The
Homeboy.
grito.
Oh, the grito. We didn't get the grito for
That's what
Tex
I say.
McFrank.
Presumir a mis amigos no esconder que en el amor.
There you go.
Pouring one out, by the way, for the Oklahoma City, the Oklahoma Sooners, because Texas is going to kick that ass this weekend. Go Longhorns, go Lions. Let's make it happen.